everybody, welcome to the Average Feminist podcast. This week my friend Sophie is on with me and we are talking kind of about like the words that you would apply to women versus men and how they differ, even though we're talking about like the same qualities and everything. We talk a bit about like crime, and then a little bit about toxic masculinity at the end. It's a little nice add-on. Not that toxic masculinity is nice in any way, and we definitely need to be combating that and getting rid of it. But yeah, Sophie's my old friend from school, and that's basically it. Yeah, because we did the little remote thing, I'm just doing the introduction after, oh my god, I cannot speak. If you can't tell, I'm still in isolation, so I've lost the ability to talk to anybody. This is my last episode done in isolation though. Woohoo! By the time you listen to the next one, I should be out. Yes! I'm very excited for it, so hopefully I don't have to do this again. I'm never leaving my house again because I'm not risking doing this all over again. But yeah, please carry on listening. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, getting on with it.
Hi!
Hello!
I was totally just vibing. They play some really vibey music while I wait for people to join.
Oh, cute.
I know, it's like, I'm going to try and redo it for you. It's like, do 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 do. It like it runs through it, and it's a vibe.
The vibes.
The vibes. Like, thank you for joining.
It's okay, thanks for having me.
Oh, no, that's all right. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Huh?
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Sophie.
Sophie and I went to school together.
Well, we did.
Sophie was really popular when I was in year 7.
Oh God, was I?
That's because I always think, like, when I do the podcast, I'm always like, how did we become friends? And then I was thinking just back through us being at school, like when we became friends. And I remember in year 7, you were so cool, and I messaged you once, and you were like nice back to me or something, and I was like, oh my God, Sophie likes me.
I was so in the wrong group at that point.
And then we became actual proper friends in year 8, 9?
Yeah, probably like halfway through year 8.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember you in year 8, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I remember much of year 8.
No, neither. No, neither.
I really don't remember, like, past Christmas, I don't know if I remember year 8 at all.
I don't remember year 8 whatsoever.
But I'm sure we were friends.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. And then I know that we were definitely friends in GCSE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm looking at my wall right now across the room, and I've got 3 pictures of us up there.
I have. What do I have? 1.
Wow.
One.
Wow. One of them, 2 of them are from sixth form. One of them, I think I still have my braces on, so that must have been like year 9.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Disgusting. You still had your really long hair.
Oh, I miss my long hair.
Do you?
Yeah.
I want to chop mine off.
I'll do it. We'll swap.
Okay, cool. I mean, I would have done it a long time ago, but you know, COVID happened, so I couldn't.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a great time. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yes.
So I thought today we would talk about, there definitely is a word for it. I can never remember it. So if anyone listening remembers, please tell me and I will tattoo it onto myself because I always forget. I'm going to call it like just gendering terms and how men and women with the same like traits and qualities and whatever will be labeled as having different things, tending to be more negative towards the women, because of course it is. We live in a totally fair society where women are never discriminated against.
Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop.
Oh, I just clicked my finger.
Oh.
I've got a couple of examples, but before I get into mine, do you have any, or do you want me to start?
You start and then I'll think of some.
I'll start. Okay, so like actually, I'm not gonna lie, I am stealing a couple of these from. So I don't know if you've ever seen her, but Eve Cornwell made a video months ago. Well, like still in lockdown, but earlier lockdown. I've been watching her for a while, but she made this one that was called "Why Barbie is My Feminist Icon." Great video, recommend. I'll link it in the show notes. And she was just like watching some Barbie videos in it, because Barbie has a YouTube channel now.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah. And one of these videos, they were kind of talking about this thing, and I was like, oh, wow. Barbie, like, gets it, though. So I'm stealing these from Barbie, which is something I never thought I'd say. But I am. So, like, the one that always sticks out in my head is how, and I think this sticks out to me so much because I've always been called bossy. And it's always been something that's really bothered me. And it wasn't until it was pointed out to me watching this video that I was like, oh, that's why I hate being called bossy so much. And it's because I'll be called bossy just because, like, I'll tell, if we're in a situation where something needs, I need to take control of a project at school or whatever, group work, because no one else is, when you're in that situation, everyone's like, twiddling my thumbs, I don't want to be the leader here. I don't have time for that. I would just start telling people what to do because something needs to be done and someone needs to do it. So if no one else is going to do it, then I'll do it. So that, like, my mum especially always calls me bossy for doing that. But if I was a guy, or if it was a guy who was doing that, they would just be called, oh, they're just being assertive. They're just taking control of the situation.
Efficient.
Yeah, they're being really efficient. They're being assertive. They're being like, they're taking control, not being controlling because that's negative, but they're taking control.
Yeah.
And they're leading the situation. Or they're being diplomatic. They're sharing out roles. Oh, they're just being, what's the word I was just going to say? I'm really, like, this is what happens when you're on your own for a week. I barely speak to anyone and I've lost the ability to communicate. But yeah, that's a huge one because I've always been called bossy and it really bothers me. I've never liked being called bossy, and I realised then when I watched that, I was like, oh, it's because if I were a guy, I wouldn't have been called bossy.
Ugh.
I know. Another huge example that's like very feminized, I guess, is nagging. Like, obviously, if you hear the word nagging, it's always associated with women, probably through the media, like, TV. Oh, nagging wife. Oh, do these chores, stop nagging me. Like, if that was a guy, they wouldn't be nagging, they would just be knowing what they want and asking for it. They would just be making sure that they they don't do more work. In the case of chores, it wouldn't just be that they're nagging and whatever, it'd be that they've done their share and they're not going to do more than what they need to.
And it's like a woman's job to do chores anyway. And
yeah, of course it is. Yeah, so nagging's another huge one, whereas with a guy it would just be more like, a bit more like, demanding sounds a bit too negative as well. Like, I can't put my finger on what the right word is, but you never hear nagging applied to a guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
It really is just like, oh, they're just asking.
Because men are the boss, aren't they?
Well, they are. All goes back to Taylor Swift. Have you heard The Man?
No.
Oh my god, great song. Listen to it. I'm going to get the lyrics up. The song is literally just about how much more seriously she would be taken if she was a guy.
That's so true.
It really is. I'm going to get the lyrics up because some of them, oof. Oh, so like, first verse, right? You know how obviously one of the massive things with Taylor Swift, and I have spoken about this in an episode before, is like how she dates all these guys and she's such a slut because she's had multiple boyfriends. How dare she? So like she kind of plays into this herself, and in the first verse, one of the lines is like, they'd say I played the field before I found someone to commit to. Every conquest I'd made would make me more of a boss to you, which it would, because if it's a guy, you know, it's like, cool, don't get tied down, have fun, get another girlfriend. Oh, she's been stop looking at the lyrics now because I'm just reading them.
Oh my god, you like disappeared for a second there.
Oh, see, you disappeared on mine.
Oh, you disappeared on mine.
Oh, interesting. There's been a network error. Well, I'm glad it's back.
Oh my god. Yeah. I was sitting there like, oh my god.
No, I was the same. I was like, okay, Sophie's not speaking, so I'm just going to carry.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Taylor Swift kind of has the same, like, you know, she kind of talks about that too. She talks about how the world treats women unfairly and we're at a natural disadvantage. Another one, actually, like, so this was kind of pointed out to me when I watched Mrs. America, which is a series on iPlayer. I highly recommend you watch. Great show. There's this episode where I'm really bad at remembering names, so I'm not going to be able to remember her name. But she'd been working in politics and like with the president, and then her husband was going to be vice president or something. And he like came home from a meeting, and they were like talking about it, and he was saying that he wasn't going to get vice president because of her, basically, not like in a mean way. He was actually being quite nice. But like the rest of the politicians didn't want to give vice president to him because he had this really like political wife and she was very involved and she wasn't the traditional housewife, whatever. And I guess they just didn't want to risk her becoming first lady if anything happened to the president and then he became president or whatever. And he was saying that they said that she was really outspoken, and she was like, well, what did you say? And I think he was like, oh, well, I just said, like, you know, you're speaking out for women, you're fighting for the right cause, you know, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, that's great, and I'm really happy you said that. I just wish you said that I'm not outspoken. I am the same amount outspoken as any man is spoken. And it kind of hit me then as well. And I was like, oh, that is so true.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, for us to be just as spoken as any man is, then we become really outspoken when all we're doing is just talking about something that needs to be said, you know, trying to get our own equal rights.
I also think that like sometimes it's good, like when women get outspoken, like when they talk about like environment, people are so they're not used to like people being like women being outspoken, so it gets more attention.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if someone called me outspoken, I would take that as quite a compliment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think outspoken is necessarily a negative thing. I think the point she was just making was like, but I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
Shouldn't be labelled as outspoken because I'm not speaking more than anyone else in politics. Any of my co-workers who are men. But like, no, I think you're completely right as well. Like, I think sometimes being outspoken means you're actually being listened to, which is
Yeah.
obviously was a good idea.
Always. Always.
Pardon?
She said always.
Oh. Do I have any more examples? Do you have any examples?
I don't know. It's like I just can't think of any. I know there's loads, but I just.
No, I know, I'm the same. I'm just drawing a blank. If you don't mind, I have a question for you. If you don't want to answer it, just feel free, or whatever. Change the topic.
What?
Do a stop, look, and roll away from it. I was just going to ask how you've been finding like uni and seminars, and if you've had any really yet, and anything, and like how you're finding it, how the split is between like guys and girls, how like if you're feeling like you get enough of a space, or anything.
Well, our flat has 2 guys in it, which I kind of thought it'd be more like even like 3 guys and whatever, because there's 8 of us. So that's a lot of girls for them to live with.
It's a lot, yeah.
And I would say in our seminars and our groups, it's kind of hard to tell because they're like all split up now. I would say it's quite even in the seminars. Maybe few more males in there.
That's interesting. Do you think your course is quite like female dominated then?
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably. It is quite hard to like, because obviously like a different group could have like way more girls and another group could have way more guys, so it's kind of hard to tell, but for the most part seminars and that are quite even.
Have you had many seminars?
I've had about 9
Oh,
in
quite a lot.
person. Yeah.
That's really like, that's loads. I've not even had that many full stop. I've had 3, 2.
Oh my god.
Something like that. How are you finding like speaking in them, and like are you finding that the guys tend to speak a lot more than the girls, or do you think it's all quite?
I think the girls speak more than the guys, to be honest.
That's good.
But I think the guys have more like stronger opinions, if that makes sense.
It does. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I feel like the girls kind of just like take in their opinions and just kind of like think about it themselves before they speak,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to like get corrected.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was, because I last year maybe said 1 or 2 things in like total out of the whole year in all of my seminars, because I was just sat there, and I mean part of it was just the general like school fear of like, oh, I don't want to say anything that's wrong, but also quite a lot of my seminars were massively dominated by guys, and they were really, really opinionated, and they would be so like on it and know what they were saying and be so strong in their opinion. Then I was like, oh, I don't want to say anything, because if I get something slightly wrong, then they're just going to come at me and be like, no, you said this, which was wrong, and like I actually think it's this, and then I'd be like, oh, I've got nothing to say back.
Yeah.
So like the only thing I said in the seminar last year was related to something that I learned at A level, so I knew that it was right, and I was like, I'm completely sure what I'm saying here. I can't voice an opinion that I'm unsure of, or like ask for help or whatever, which I really struggled. I mean, part of it was obviously just like general anxiety as well, and then like I said, just my seminar. Actually, that's another point. I think last year, out of the 4 modules, 1, 2, no, maybe there was 5. I think I only had 2 female seminar leaders, and then the others were like men. But even then, like the ones who were women, they were quite like, they wouldn't come in and they wouldn't be like, here's what we're doing in the seminar. They'd be like, hi everyone, so I thought today we could look at, which I'm not saying this is a bad comment to them, I actually like way preferred one of the seminars, and it was just felt a lot more like chatty and conversational, and I felt like I could say more there and I felt like I could learn more in there. But it was more like they were a lot, I don't want to say meek because that seems really mean, but they just didn't seem as like strong or as,
but it was just softer, like softer spoken,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Not to say that they, like, when I say they were less opinionated, not to say that they were not as intelligent, they didn't know what they were talking about as much, because these are all like PhD students.
Yeah.
So smart. But yeah, so I've actually started talking slightly more this week.
Right.
Slightly. I mean, we're all I said something, I didn't say anything in one of my first seminars, although I was going to. Just saying, I was going to, but the chat function took too long to load, so someone else said it first.
Oh, that's annoying.
Said something. Yeah, I said something like, and again, I mean, I said something in one of my calls last week, and it was something that I'd learned last year, so I knew the answer, but I said it, and then the module convener was like, "Oh, that's perfect," and I was like, "Oh my God, I did it! I did it!" And it kind of did give me a little bit of confidence, because then we were having a debate in one of my calls this morning about language and culture, and we were kind of talking about ancient Rome, but then it just kind of evolved into a debate about like modern times as well. And we were saying like how much does language link with culture, and like how much does being able to speak a certain language make you a part of that culture, whatever. And I like, someone said something and I disagreed, so I was just like, I'm gonna say how I disagree. And I said something, and then we were put in a group, like in these little breakout groups on Zoom. And I think I was with, like, I think I must have been the only second year in there, and they were all freshers. No one was saying anything, and I was like the only one with my camera on, and I was like, and I was like speaking at them, like, so do we think this could be what this is? Because I think this is what this is, and I, none of you were saying anything. So either I'm completely wrong.
I think they were just nervous.
Yeah. They probably were, and like that's the thing as well. I was them last year. I said nothing last year because even the first few calls this year, I was put in with like freshers and some of them, and they were just talking so much, and they had so many thoughts and ideas and everything, even though they were freshers. And I was like, oh no, I can't do something now, because if I'm a second year and I get this wrong, then I'm supposed to know more than they do, and I don't. So I just didn't say anything, because I was like, well, I'm just not going to try.
Speaking of uni, one of my homework was to look at the crime in our area, so like Dorset, and I narrowed it down to our town. Do you know what the most crime is in?
Oh, do I want to know?
Probably not. It's violent and sexual assault.
Of course it is.
Yeah, there's like 66 over like 3 months.
Jesus. That's
yeah.
because you never hear of it happening that much when you're there.
No, you really don't.
Like, I couldn't name that many people.
I don't think I could name anyone except for that one time those two guys saved that girl.
Oh, I think Sophie's gone for a second. Hopefully she's coming back.
Can you hear me?
I can, you're back! What were you saying, sorry?
I can't think of anyone specific that we know that has had like any assault, but I remember that girl that got saved by those two guys.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Do you not?
No.
I saw it on Facebook. Like, it was probably about a year or two ago.
God.
And yeah, she was just walking home by herself, and I think she was a bit drunk, and someone tried.
Oh God. I mean, having said that, I don't remember, like, I can't think of anything. I can't, but I do know that, like, I remember a lot of times where I or people that I know have been followed by like vans or cars or whatever. And I know that there's loads of instances where people have reported that cars or vans have been following them round.
Yeah,
Easily obviously lead into something if they didn't get home in time or see someone or whatever.
yeah, that is just crazy.
It's so bad. The worst thing is I can imagine that that's not just where we're from. Like, I can imagine you look at most places and that's probably one of the biggest crimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
But
because we went round the room. We
because
went round the room.
oh no, sorry, you go.
We went round the room and kind of like told like what the biggest crimes was, and it was like pretty much top 3 in each area.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, thinking about it, it's not that surprising where we're from in terms of, like, there isn't really anywhere that you could have, like, you couldn't really rob many places where we're from in terms of, like, businesses. Obviously, like, houses, you very much could. I guess, like, car crime would be the only other one. We've never really had many, like, big murder cases,
Yeah.
but, like, that's so bad.
I'll try and find the website. I think I must have wrote it down actually. Antisocial behaviour, public order, and criminal damage and arson were the others.
Well, there you go. God, that's depressed me so much. Well, I mean, I'm glad I'm out, but
Yeah, me too.
although I don't think Exeter is a lot better. I'm pretty sure someone told me that X is actually really bad for sexual assault cases or something, which again
Really?
doesn't surprise me.
Just like don't understand like how you just don't know like respect. Like how can you not just like just don't do it?
I know it's that hard to be like, oh look,
Yeah.
someone getting on with their own independent life, like completely not involved with me in any way. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go assault them.
I think though my lecturer said in the seminar that it's mostly people that they know.
Oh yeah, most cases of like sexual assault or anything like that are by even murders are by people that you know.
Yeah. Which is so it's just even worse then because you think you know them and
Well, exactly. And this is why we don't trust people.
exactly, and it's not just men, it's women too, but it's just obviously more men you hear about.
Yeah, I think it's like 90% of cases are by men. I mean, obviously both need to stop, but
Yeah.
I saw this tweet earlier. I think it's a tweet, and it was like, women, why do you give a number to a guy if you're never gonna like answer his calls or whatever? And then someone just responded with like a news article, and it was like the headline that came up, and it was like a woman ignored a man's catcalling, so he chased her down and killed her.
Yeah, like it's just so it gives me the
And that's what we have to deal with.
Yeah. Like you can just be walking and just mind your own business. You get catcalled, and that makes that walk just fearful because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Literally. I'm so thankful that it's never really happened when I've been by myself.
Yeah, same. I've been with friends.
Yeah, I've always been with other people, or like the one time it did happen and I was by myself, it was like broad daylight, mid-afternoon, and I was on the phone to my mum. And I was in, like, I was walking through town, so it's like a very public place where I was like, you know, chances of something happening are a lot less. It's never like me alone in the dark at night. Oh God, I can't even think about it. I know. I wonder what's happening with that in terms of like COVID. I was wondering this a lot actually. I was wondering how much crime has actually gone down, because like if you're a burglar, you don't want to go into people's houses because you don't know who has COVID.
Exactly. I looked at the Winchester like crime rates, and there was like a graph of like how many crimes are committed in a month, and literally it was like February was like up high, and then as soon as it hit March, it just literally plummeted, and I was like, because people just aren't going out.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
There are more witnesses as well, because obviously people going out for walks.
True. Daily exercise.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out of walks again.
Oh, that's sad.
4 days, it's okay. This is day 7 inside. Well, day 8, I guess, technically. 4 more days, and then I'm out. Woo! And then I'm never leaving again. Sophie? We may have lost Sophie again. Sophie? Oh no, she just texted me and said she's lost me again. Okay, I will keep talking. I'm just going to send Sophie a message quickly and just say, until you're back. It's weird because I can hear. It might be me because I can hear Sophie, and I'm sure you can too.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Oh, I don't think she can hear me. I wonder if this is actually recording my audio then. This is clearly a fault on my... I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Hopefully, you'll start hearing me soon. Okay, I mean, we're half an hour in anyway, so it's not like we've missed a ton of the episode. This is so frustrating. It's because the weather outside at the moment, it's really windy. It's not very rainy, but like it's very windy, and now I'm panicking that this isn't picking up my voice either. I'll go back to listen to the podcast, and it's completely just not recorded my voice, which would be so unfortunate. I'm just gonna tell Sophie, if you can start hearing me, just join in. Actually, there was another thing that I was thinking to talk about. I've noticed a lot in the last few days about how we always call, like, I will always refer to, if I see someone in media, you know, I'll just be like, oh, look, it's a girl. Oh, it's these girls, it's this girl, or whatever. Like, oh, it's like, we always talk about girls versus we always talk about men, which obviously there's many reasons why. Men is to assert power, because obviously, like, you're seen as more of an adult, just is a more powerful term. Girls versus, like, to call someone a woman has always been a weird concept to me. Like, you only ever really hear woman in like a young woman, or I really have anyway, like actual face to face. In more of like young woman context, like, oh, look at you growing up as such a young lady, then not even really woman. But like that has to just be because it's the idea that we're so young, woohoo, and we're so like we're supposed to strive to be young and to seem young and to look young and look younger than we actually are, because that's what men want. We have to cater to men's needs. So that's been really annoying. That's something that I've noticed lately, and I thought I would mention. I thought it was quite relevant to this podcast, the way we talk about like words that we apply to men and women and how they differ and everything. So I thought I was about the word man and the word girls and that. Sorry, I'm still taking Sophie. Okay. I think I'm just gonna wait for her to answer and then probably wrap it up here. Because I think this has been a good length of time anyway. So probably good to wrap it up here when it stopped working. Maybe that's the universe. Okay. I think we're gonna stop this, try and come back, see if that works. And then hopefully I will speak to you in a second and Sophie will be able to hear you again. Okay. Hopefully you'll hear me in 1 second and this will be working, even though we're only going to have like 10 minutes.
Hello.
Hello!
I'm on my laptop now, so hopefully it'll work better.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Cool.
We've only got like 10 more minutes anyway, but...
What were you talking about while I was gone?
I was talking about how we tend to use the term like men to refer to like the male gender, but we also then tend to use the word girls to refer to female rather than woman. Like I've never really referred to anyone or heard anyone be referred to as a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think that the whole idea is like we're supposed to strive to be as young as we can and to still have that youthful like air about us, because that's what appeals to men. I do think that's true.
I think that, yeah, that's so true.
So I just thought that was interesting. I thought it was quite relevant to what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd mention it. And that was it, really. It was that and a lot of just like, Sophie, can you hear me?
Oh.
Anything else you wanted to add last minute?
Just like, I think also men do get it, obviously, because the whole like gender thing where men are meant to be like tough and macho and they're not meant to cry, and if they do cry they're seen as weak and stuff like that.
Toxic masculinity.
That's what it is.
We love to see it. We do not love to see it.
No.
We love to see it.
I do like that people like Harry Styles and people like that are kind of showing that it's okay to, you know, wear a dress if you want.
For sure. Harry Styles, Ezra Miller. I think Robert Sheehan's probably another good example.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, just I've always found it weird that clothes are gendered and like it's a piece of fabric.
Yeah.
Like school uniforms like boys can't wear skirts. Why not? Like, why not?
Yeah, and like girls are like, if you like wear trousers to school and you're a girl, like it's you get looked at.
You really do, and there's only ever like one or two people in your year who will wear trousers to school.
Yeah.
At least when we were at school.
And like when I did wear trousers to school, I got told off for them because they were jeans, but I got them from the school section.
Oh, that's for God's sake.
But like guys in our year were wearing jeans.
I know. But I guess you were more picked, like, you were more picked out on it because for you to even be wearing trousers was like,
Yeah,
exactly. They were actually looked at like, oh,
why aren't you showing your legs?
Even though you'd be wearing tights anyway, it's the middle of winter and it's bloody freezing.
Yeah. And like if we weren't wearing tights, we had to wear white socks.
God, yeah, why did we have to wear white socks with our uniform when it was black tights?
Yeah, God knows.
School uniforms are dumb. I could literally do a whole other episode on school uniforms.
You probably should.
I probably will. They bother me a lot.
Yeah. And like it kind of like you don't really know what to wear when it's not school.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I have no problem with the idea itself of a uniform. I think there's a lot of like good reasons why they have uniforms, and I think there's a lot of positive things that come from it.
Yeah.
But I think that uniforms themselves and uniform codes and everything should be a bit more, I don't want to say relaxed, maybe a bit more just like liberal, a bit more inclusive.
With the times.
With the times, yeah.
Like it's still old school.
It really is very old school still. And it's very, yeah. No, I agree. And I agree with what you're saying about toxic masculinity as well. Like, obviously there are things that are unfair to men and that men are oppressed on too. It's not like men live in this perfect world where everything goes right for them and they have no struggles. It's just that also they tend to live in a system that benefits them primarily rather than anyone else. But they should absolutely be allowed to feel emotions and express themselves however they want. And like, oh my God, if you want to paint your nails, paint your nails.
I think it looks amazing when guys paint their nails.
Literally, I was just saying the other day, like, how attractive it is to me. Like,
yeah, me too.
I'm so much more attracted to you.
It's weird, but like if I saw a guy with nails, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. I wouldn't even think like, oh, why is he wearing nail varnish?
No, literally. Painted nails, wear a bit of eyeliner. Ooh.
Ooh.
Not that you should do it to be attractive, because that's a stereotype.
No, you do it
again
if you want to do it.
Do it if you want to do it. And just know that, at least for a lot of people nowadays, I don't think you would be judged.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think it's becoming more and more, and maybe that is thanks to people like Harry Styles, who always paints his nails. And I think probably the first guy I saw with nails painted was Conor Franzer.
Oh my God, yeah.
I remember seeing it and being like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was like 2014.
Yeah, like old school.
Oh my God.
I know.
But like if you went down to like our area and be like, let me paint your nails to a guy, they'd be like, no, that's what girls do.
I mean, even like now, to be honest, some of my friends or whatever, I've been like, please let me paint your nails, and they're like, no. My ex never in a million years would have let me paint his nails.
That's sad. And like also guys don't dye their hair.
Not as much, no.
Just do it.
Why
Who cares?
not dye your hair? Dye it for me. I'm not allowed to dye it because of work, so if everyone else could just dye their hair some wacky colours for me, please, I'd really appreciate that.
Just like live through them.
Exactly. Right, I'm going to have to wrap it up here because we're running out of time. So
Oh my God.
thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining me, Sophie.
That's okay.
If you liked this and you don't follow us, you can find us on Instagram at The Average FemPod. If you want to talk to us, you can message us there or email. The email is theaveragefeministpodcast@gmail.com. If you liked this and you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. Share with a friend. I don't know if there's anything else to say. I don't think I've missed anything. So thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.